Don't tell him no. He's so encouraged that he's going to pass his class. But I'm sorry. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel it. What is... There. Thank you. Remember, I can't see you. I can't see y'all when I minimize. That's why you have to speak up. And it scares the crap out of me every time it happens. Okay, so where was I? So, if we want a negative here, then what do we need to do here? Put a negative there. What about over there? Same thing? Yes, Hubert. Well, what does that do if you put a negative here? What does that do to this side? Makes it a positive. Okay, now get to work. Now you've got you've got u to the second du. Negative antiderivative, let me just write it out. Negative antiderivative of u to the second du plus antiderivative of u to the fourth du. What y'all doing? Building a house or what? Let's see if I can minimize that now. Let's see. I think I'll do this. Nope. Okay, it's not going to cooperate, so I'll just do the whole thing. That's why I would like training, because this thing doesn't act like CAD. I grew up on CAD. All the way up to CAD 13. And you're supposed to be able to do certain parts, and that doesn't work. So I guess I'll just do the whole thing. There's no consistency in the way this thing does. See? Keep trying. Exactly. Okay, one of y'all need to like turn off y'all's microphone, because it sounds like you're dying and you're building or coughing for yourself. Sound like a red Marlboro pack, 3-pack a day. Or might have been just somebody's microphone. Might have been that woman coming out of the daggum TV. Sudoku is what they call it. Sudoku. Sudoku versus Sudoku. They can come up with movies like that. Why don't they come up with a Predator versus Terminator versus Michael Myers? That's my idea. I came up with Jason versus Freddy a long time ago. And you know what else they need to do? They need to recreate Jaws. They need to. They've been needing to. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. Because what is the one thing that didn't work well during the making of Jaws? The shark. It would not work. That's why they do a lot of shots with the camera coming through the water, because they couldn't get the freaking shark to work. And there's, you know, in Jaws, there's 2 shots of meteors in the film. Did you know that? When they're on the boat and the shark runs into the boat and there's a shooting star coming down this way, and then when they show the boat, there's a shooting star coming down this way. It's really wicked. And it falls in the ocean and kills the shark. No, it's really wild. I told somebody that and they were like, no, it ain't. I said, yeah, it is. Look at it. But the only times you see the shark is when they could actually get the shark to work. So can you imagine a JAWS computer generated like today? That would be awesome. Everybody would go see it, because kids that didn't go see JAWS, they would go see it just to go see it. And the people that did go see JAWS, like when I did and never went to water after that, I would go see it and probably not go. I still don't go out in the water. I still don't go out in the ocean because of that. Dang old chomp chomp, not Hubie. I stay around the pool with my cooler. All right, so what we got? We got, what's this? Negative u to the third over 3 plus u to the what? 10th over 5 plus c. Don't forget the plus c. And then, of course, what is u? Cosine cubed x over 3 plus cosine fifth x over 5 plus c. Now again, you're not learning this so that you can spout off the integral of blah, 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 blah. You're learning this so you can learn how to take something apart, rearrange it, manipulate it, put it back together in a different way. You're using several parts of your brain that you've never used before, unless you're talking about algebra where you rewrite something, where you rewrite factoring. Factoring using the shortcuts in the reverse FOIL and complete the square, that's another way. That was your first introduction to rearranging and manipulating a problem. And now you're doing it again. Okay? Question on that one. Skype people, you got any questions? All right, let's try one and put a, I don't care really about the definite part, because that's just math. I'm not worried about that, but I'm just going to do the problem. I can put definite numbers on any of this. This one is definite, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's pi over 3, pi over 6, but I don't care about that. Cosine cube of x over the square root sine of x dx. All right, now I want you to take what you know from Calculus 1 and what I just taught you about a odd exponent cosine and see if you can manipulate and rearrange this expression or this integral. And what do you know from Calculus 1? Radicals in calculus do not mix. So that means you need to rewrite that sine of x as what? Sine 1/2 x? Or sine of x to the 1/2 power? Then you need to move it upstairs. And that becomes sine, and that's all I'm going to say. Faith, you've got a new nickname. And she don't have her microphone today. Faith wrote a. I don't know what that was. Faith wrote telling me that she was wanting to Skype. She put, "I'm ready." Now on, Faith, your nickname is SpongeBob.
SpongeBob?
Yep, SpongeBob.
I'll take it.
Okay. At least an asshole, right? I'm ready. I'm ready. You steal your boy or your husband's phone again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, stole his Skype account.
His Skype account. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't quit on me. Y'all gonna quit? Come on, people. It'd be cosine cubed x times sine to the negative 1/2 of x. Change the cos, factor out a cosine. Now, here's another move in the chess. Are you going to make the cosine be beside the dx, or are you going to make the sine x to the negative 1/2 be beside the dx? All of you should say the cosine. Why? Because you're never going to get a derivative of dx to come out to be sine to the negative 1/2. So you need to make the sine to the negative 1/2 become your u, and your du be your cosine. You see what I'm saying? You would never say, okay, I want my du to be sine negative 1/2 x. Tell me when you're going to get a derivative to come out, the du to come out to be sine to the negative 1/2. You'd have to sit there and really think about that. That's not what you're supposed to do. You take the cosine and you put it beside the dx, and you make the sine and the cosine squared be the u's. Okay, thank you for the interaction, class. Just say a word. Cosine cubed of x times sine negative 1/2 x dx. And at this point, you're thinking, of course, I have no idea what to do. Even though Hubert told me to factor out a cosine right here, I'm just going to ignore what he said and just stare at it for 15 minutes, right? That's what y'all told me when you said you quit. You said, I'm just going to ignore what he said. So I'm going to factor out a cosine, and I'm going to say cosine squared of x times cosine of x, and then sine negative 1/2 of it dx, x dx. And this right here is when you should say, wait a minute, I'll never get this. So I need to move this over here and move this over here, so I'll have a cosine x dx, which is a whole lot easier to get. So then I got cosine squared of x times the sine negative 1/2 of x times the cosine x dx. And doesn't this look a whole lot easier to obtain than this? Yes, Hubert. That's right, class. So you need to make a note here. When you have something that looks funky like this, as beside the dx, you want something out there with the dx that looks normal. Why don't you use cosine squared x? Well, I just said, you want something out there that looks normal, and that's the cosine. All right, now what are you going to do? Well, what did you do with the square on the other term? Turned it into an identity, Hubert. That's right, class. Thank you for the interaction. Y'all suck. You too, Skype people. Y'all suck too. They still won't say anything. I'm ready. What is it with people that like add you 15 times for friends? Do they just do away with their account, make a new account like 5 times? Is that what they do? I think it's crazy people that's going to be my friend, and I don't know who they are. Yeah, 3 people I got to meet with today on their pre-advising. How many of you have taken care of your pre-advising? Nope. You're going to wait till when? Wait till the 10th. That's registration. So wait till the 9th and try to find your advisor on the 9th. And then get mad and blame everybody at Tri-County Tech that you can't find your advisor. I'm going to say this every day until y'all go to your advisors. Whatever.
You did last time.
Yep. So, what is cosine squared of x? 1 minus what? Now remember, sine to the negative 1/2 x, cosine of x go together because they're multiplied. The common mistake is some people think that this is a plus and they try to do the FOIL method. You can't. That's together. So you've got to distribute. Alright, do that. And y'all should be able to finish it. If you can't, just, you know what to write it up as. Did I tell you I got my Polycom cam working? I brought it from home. Huh? Yep. Yep, I got tired of waiting on IT. They said they're going to bring a ladybug. They're going to bring a ladybug. They're going to bring a ladybug. Well, about the 3rd day, they didn't bring it, so I went home and got my little cam and brought it over, and it worked. So then I wrote the 2 directors, the Easley campus and the Anderson campus, and I said, we need to get a good document cam because it will work. And the IT wrote, I got a ladybug. Yeah, let's wait 2 semesters before you bring it over, along with the training that you're supposed to give us on the Epson systems. I got it to work. I'm going to take my tablet. I don't know what you call it. It's a digitizer, tablet, whatever it's called. I'm going to take it down there today and get it hooked up and see if it'll work. Probably before the end of the semester we will, because I want to make sure I want to try it out on Skype and make sure what the Skype looks like with the digitizer and with the video. I want to see how it looks to the students. So I'll let you know. Y'all just want those chairs. I know what y'all want. Y'all want to go to sleep in those chairs. Okay, so that means we've got the antiderivative, the sine of negative 1/2 x, cosine x dx, minus sine, and I'm going to make this 4/2 x times sine negative 1/2 x times the cosine x dx. I just distributed that with both, and of course the sine squared, I turned that into 4/2, so y'all won't mess that up, because y'all will mess that up if I don't give you a common denominator. You know, it's an amble with a banana. And this is basically u du, but we'll break it up into 2. Sine negative 1/2 x, cosine of x, dx, minus the antiderivative, the sine of 4/2 x times the sine of negative 1/2 x. Oops. Oh, now we got to highlight it. I want somebody to tell me how I turned it into a highlight without going through all this. maybe if I had training, I would know, times the cosine of x dx. Did y'all see what I had to do? I have to hold this button down, and I have to hit that thing 2 or 3 times with the little X to come up, and that's when I have to erase it. Now, where today have you seen me hit this button and turn it around and put it on the highlight? I haven't done that. Okay, so let's just go over here. I don't want to mess up I'm just going to go over here and say u is equal to sine of x du is equal to, the derivative of sine is what? Oh my, we don't even have to add anything. Yeah, because y'all screw it up. So, we've got the antiderivative of u to the negative 1/2 du minus the antiderivative of the sine, u, what's 4/2 plus a negative 1/2?
3/2.
3/2 du. And now, if you haven't finished it now, you should be able to finish it. Should. And you might want to add pi to the 6 and pi over 6 and pi over 3. Just so if you see a definite on the test, you can add it. I'm just going to add it right here.
Hey, Hubert.
Yes.
When you were distributing and you FOILed it out, negative sine squared of x times cosine x dx. It seemed like that the answer to that was just cosine x dx. Oh, okay, I see, because they're multiplied together. Okay, yep, I made the mistake.
Yeah, you said, remember me telling you that students often think this is the FOIL method?
Right.
You've got to be careful. What I would tell students to do is make this a block. Take your highlighter and make that a block and see this as one unit, because that is the most common mistake students make here. And they do sine to the negative 1/2, and then they do times cosine, and then the signs cancel out, or something like that, and then you get cosine squared x, or cosine. They just totally butcher it up. Okay?
Okay.
So make that a block.
You have a work email.
And your final answer should be u to the negative 1/2 is going to be sine. Well, we got to take the integral. It'd be what, 1/2 over 1/2. So sine of 1/2 x over 1/2 minus 3/2 plus 2 is 5/2 over 5/2. Sine of 5/2 x over 5/2, and then that's going to be 2 sine 1/2 x minus 2/5 sine or 5/2 x plus c. Don't forget the plus c. And that's set up for your integration. I mean, for your put in your pi over 6 and pi over 3, which I don't at this point. At integration by parts and substitution and trig substitution, I could care less about the definite integrals. Okay, if you get the setup and if you get the integration, then I'm happy as a teacher, because what is the pi over 3 and the pi over 6? That's just what? Calculator.
How did you know to get the pi over 3 and pi over 6?
That was in the original problem.
Okay.
I just didn't write it down. I didn't want to fool with it. And at this point in algebra, In calculus, that's why you don't see a lot of definite intervals, because the whole philosophy is on the teaching of calculus 2 is if you can set it up, that's 98% of the problem. So most calculus teachers don't even worry about the definite intervals at this point, which I don't either. All right, so I'm going to give y'all one try, and if you can't do it, then you suck. Ready? The antiderivative, cosine 4th x power dx. Now, the only thing I'm going to give you is you can't do jack with cosine 4th power of x. So you've got to manipulate it. Just put cannot be done out to the side. Now, what have we been talking about this whole time as far as something raised to the power? What do we always try to get to? Huh? Yeah, UDU, but in this case we can't do that because we don't even have a DU, because all we got is DX. All right, so what do we need to do to that cosine of the 4th? What do we need to write it in terms of? Not sine, but instead of writing it to the 4th power, you're getting there, write it to the what power? Second. So I'm going to give you. If you don't know how to change that into cosine squared, then you've forgotten your power rule of exponents back in algebra 2 and the latter part of algebra 1. So not only do you suck, you really suck. And you should just run out of the classroom right now, being ashamed. I see where they're putting up 15, 20 signs saying that Clemson is national champions of the United States. I'm glad. I just wish we could fix our potholes on the interstate. Everybody catch that? Because I'd love to know how much those signs cost. But hey, priorities. Nobody in the United States, nobody knows that Clemson is national champions. I mean, it's unknown. So we have to put our signs up in South Carolina saying that Clemson, well, hurry up and look at it, because if you hit a pothole while you're looking at it, you're not going to see it. Has anybody been down to Columbia lately? Take I-26 down to Columbia and see how many times you hit a pothole on the interstate. That's why I don't watch the local news. The only reason I saw that is it popped up on Facebook. That's where I get my local news from, Facebook. I done figured out where Trump is getting his intelligence from. He's not getting it from the United States. Guess who he's getting it from? Nope. No, they cause trouble. They cause all our trouble. They don't, you know. We're getting, Trump is getting intelligence from the one nation that knows more about us than we do. Because of the last 8 years. Anybody want to take a guess?
John?
Israel. Israel's feeding Trump with intelligence. Why is Israel so critical of our? Why do they want to know everything we're doing for the last 8 years? Think about it. That's where he's getting his intelligence from. All these newscasters like, how does he know? What's his proof? What's his proof? Well, you think he's going to give up his proof? He's getting his intelligence from Israel, and he's wanting Congress to find it out on their own. That's the only thing that I can think makes sense. And I am really a proponent of the CIA making it look like the Russians tried to hack our election. That would make total sense. Y'all heard about the dump, the latest WikiLeaks dump? Yeah.
Yeah, Vault 7.
Oh, that freaks me out every time that happens. What?
You're talking about Vault 7?
Yeah.
Yep.
It says in there that the CIA was basically fabricating the whole Russian hacking thing. I'll tell you what, it'll take us 20 years to get DC unclustered. It will. It's kind of like Trump has gone into the kitchen, and the kitchen is a mess. But you know how you can clean up the kitchen? You can clean up the mess, or you can really clean the kitchen. Well, he needs to really clean the kitchen. He needs to pull everything out, and he needs to clean it, because right now, even if you clean the pots and pans up, the kitchen's still going to stink because there's food under the cabinets and stuff. I mean, he's going to have to yank everything out, and he's going to have to clean it. And the last one that did that was Reagan. And the one that tried to do that before him got shot. So, Kennedy.
Basketball.
What?
Basketball goal.
What basketball goal? You need a basketball? Yeah, I need one for my son. And I just really don't want to have to go through having to put it up. So I put it on Facebook. I need a basketball goal with a stain.
That ain't tore up.
That ain't tore up. And I put that on there. Yeah, I got, you see what somebody replied? I got one. Blackboard's crushed. Simmons, really? So I need a basketball goal with a stand. So anybody got one? I'll take it off your hands for you, because you know you don't want it to sit out the front yard and grill it. So. All right. So what am I going to change this to? I am so proud of y'all. Okay, I'll finish it. I wouldn't use the Pythagorean here, but you could. I'm looking, you could, but I would use the half angle. Try the half angle. 1 plus cosine 2x over 2. And then you'll see what will happen. And then you'll say, oh, okay. Let's see, that would be cosine 1 minus sine squared, which would be shortcut number what? Number 2, which would be 1. You probably could use either one. We'll do it and see what we come up with. Yeah, the predicament I got is my daughter's birthday is this week. It's March 3rd, and she just did a look from Charleston. So I've got to take her out and get her birthday present, but I can't get a birthday present for her and buy my son the basketball goal at the same time. Because his birthday is not till October. So I'm trying to find something that will do the job and it look like it's taken away from. Because you got to do that when you're a parent. You can't go out and take your daughter out to get a birthday present and buy your son something nice at the same time. You can't do that. That's a no-no. Buying something small, but nothing equal. Now who wants to maybe get on this game called Grand Theft Auto? Why in the hell would you want to buy your kid a game that teaches them how to steal something?
Just jump in a car, I think.
I don't care.
Evading.
Huh?
Evading.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. Let me just get him a game on how to kill people. How about that? Yeah, I'll do that. Get him the game. What is it? How to kill soldiers? What is that?
Call of Duty?
What's the Call of Duty or what's Call of Duty? Yeah, that's it. I'll get him that so he can learn how to shoot people in the back of the head. And then they wonder why we got a screwed up country.
I bet it's just the Russians.
Blame the Russians. It's their fault. One plus cosine of 2x over 2 1 squared dx. Now I could pull this 1/2 out to the front and say 1/2 times 1 plus cosine of 2x, or cosine squared of x, squared, right? I can do that. What?
That's good.
What?
What's happening is he's substituting the halving of the cosine only.
Yeah.
And that's when he's squaring, so it's going to cancel. So you want that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. This square is canceled because of this. If you just had a cosine here, you could rewrite cosine. It would be the square root of 1 plus cosine 2 of x over 2. But since you got cosine squared of x, the square cancels, this square cancels the radical out. Written what down at the bottom? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry. Brain bubble. I should use my notes. That's what I write them for.
Would it be this when it was doing to? Does that make it out radical?
No. Be 1 plus cosine 2 of x. That's why you do that. The half angle identity, that's why, yeah, it's 2x.
No. I mean, when you bring up 1/2. But that's also a new ground.
Well, you don't have to. No.
Okay.
It's right there. I mean, no, there's no radical. The radical is gone.
Sorry, I mean power.
Yeah. And you could raise it, and you could pull the 1/4 out front, or you could leave it in the front, or you could leave it on the bottom, either one, however you want to do it. Now, do you shortcut, the 1/2 becomes what? 1/4. That's what I meant. I meant to do this. I'm sorry. There. Is that better?
Oh.
Okay, so this becomes 1/4. And this becomes 1 plus cosine of 2x raised to the what? Second power. And now you're going to use what? Shortcut number 1. Golly, we're doing algebra again. Heck, dumb. God, when is that algebra ever going to go away? Anybody want to answer that? Never. So if you suck at algebra, just get your degree in female gender studies. And you can wear one of those things on your head and protest. And complain that you don't have a job and you can't pay your student loans off because you can't get a job with a degree in female gender studies. My daughter's finding out that I wasn't wrong when I said the more math and science you have in your degree, the more money you're going to make. And it's generally true. And she's finding that out because she's trying to get a degree in a major that doesn't have any math and science in it. And I said, okay, be a history teacher. Because that's all that's left is history, English. I'm sorry, teacher, she wants to be a teacher. So English, what else? Spanish, psychology. Now what? Well, the antiderivative of 1/4, and then I'm going to put a parenthesis right here. 1 plus 2 times cosine 2x, but that's squared. No, it's not squared. 2 cosine of 2x plus what? Cosine squared 2x dx. And you can distribute that 1/4 back through if you want to. It's up to you. It'll cancel that 2 out in the middle one. The 4 is still going to be there with the 1 and the cosine squared of 2x. So it's really, can you pull the 1/4 out in front of the integral? Yes, that's the best thing to do. And then all you got then is what? The stuff to take the integral up. And maybe one more, that last cosine squared, you might want to use the half angle one more time there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the 1/4 out. And that's going to be the integral of 1 dx plus 1/4 times 2 times the integral of the cosine of 2x dx. Well, what's the derivative of 2x? Or what's u? U is 2x. What's du? 2 dx. So you got to put a 2 out here and a 1/2 out here, and then you can do that one. But this one, you're going to have to do the half angle identity again. So you can go ahead and do the first two. And what's the antiderivative of cosine? The sine or the negative sign? Be the sine, wouldn't it? So that will turn into the sine of 2x. The antiderivative of 1 is x. See, Mr. Edwards? And then you got to work with the cosine down there at the end, cosine squared, which comes out to be 1 plus cosine of 4x over 2. So 1/4 x plus, this is a mess. Okay, this 2 cancels out with that 1/2. So you're left with 1/4. And what do we say? Sine 2x plus 1/4 And then we've got, what I say, the antiderivative of
Priority
1
1 message coming in
plus
on secured channel.
cosine 4x over 2 dx. Using the half angle identity. Now finish it out. What time is it? We'll finish after this one because I want to knock down the door. That 1/4 is out here. 1/4 goes there, there, and there. It's outside. Well, the 2 and the 1/2 does what? No. For the 2 here, what do you got to have out here? The 1/2. And the 2 and the 1/2 cancel, and it leaves 1/4.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, but you forget the 1/2. Cosine of 2x dx. U is equal to 2x. What's dx? 2 dx. So you need 2 in there and a 1/2 out front. You just got to go back to your trigonometric integrals. Remember, if something's not there, you can add it as long as you can put a what out front, the reciprocal out front. Now that's going to be pretty simple because you can break that up into 2 what? 2 intervals. So 1/4 x plus 1/4 sine of 2x plus the 1/4 antiderivative of 1/2 dx plus 1/4 antiderivative of cosine of 4x over 2, cosine of 4x over 2 dx. Really? Cosine of 4x dx. So 1/4 x plus 1/4 sine of 2x plus 1/4. What is, so I will pull that out, half integral of dx plus 1/4 times 1/2 antiderivative cosine of 4x dx. 1/4 x plus 1/4 sine of 2x plus 1/8. What's the antiderivative of dx? X plus 1/8 antiderivative cosine of 4x dx. U is equal to 4x. Du is equal to what? For what? Dx. Do we have a 4 dx? No. So we put a 4 there, and we put a what out here? So now we've got the cosine of u du. So now we can just take the antiderivative. So our final answer, I think, well, you can take the 1/4 and 1/8 x, and you can add that. That'd be 2/8. Let me do that in a different color so y'all see what's going on. 2/8. What's 2/8 x plus 1/8 x? 3/8 x. Plus 1/4 sine of 2x plus 1/32. What's the antiderivative of cosine? Sine of 4x. Let's see. Let's see what they got in my notes. 3/8 x plus 1/4 sine of 2x plus 1/32 sine of 4x plus c. Oh yeah, next is substitution, trig substitution. Yep. Give you a couple more to work along with your homework problems, because I'm going to put some homework. I got 2 or 3 more, and we can do these when y'all come back, whatever time y'all come back. And that is antiderivative secant to the 4th 3x tan to the 3rd 3x dx. That's 1. Antiderivative tan 4th x dx. And that one works kind of like the one we just did. And then the antiderivative of secant of x over tangent squared of x dx. Now, let me ask you a quick question. On this problem right here, what's the first thing you should think of? Always try to get things in terms of what? Sine and cosine. This one, rewrite it using exponential laws. Tangent squared, quantity squared. Or you could write it tangent squared times tangent squared. And then the tangent squared times tangent squared, you could, if you get a tangent squared, you can break tangent into 1 minus secant squared, and then you can distribute. Those are just 3 that we might do when y'all come back as we go into substitution, trig substitution. Now, I'm going to take the roll, and I'm going to let everybody out of here so I can get the homework before they break down the door. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is take the roll